Back to the Festiva. I gotta get the clutch line hooked up, fuel lines, fill the transmission, a couple of sensors, and do a slight temporary setup for the power. And then I also have to replace the fuel pedal. So this harness uses a different fuel pedal. And then from there, we are going to see if it'll fire up. So I undid the fuel lines because with the new downpipe, they cross right over the downpipe down there. So we're gonna move the fuel pressure regulator closer to this side and keep it away from the exhaust, but they'll have to reroute the feed to the high pressure pump. So I got the fuel lines moved over in the regulator, pressure regulator, and then I went ahead and cut up the factory harness because I wanted this cool connector out of here. It's an alternator wire. Goes there and incorporates this little clamp that feeds off of the alternator wire to battery hookup for the starter, and then also has a built-in trigger wire for start. So I'm going to keep that factory connector there, and then I have the perfect length off of the starter up to the alternator. So I'm getting ready to fire this thing over, but before I do, I need to fill up the trans fluid. And then I just realized that this tank only has a supply and a vent, and I'm running a return system, and the surge tanks are not race legal in some events, so we're just going to swap the cap out with a smaller cap and a vent port. So in the meantime, I have the old fuel cell set up in the back, hooked to the pump and the filters, just so I can crank it over and check on this harness and make sure everything's working with it. These things are filled to spill out. I already have a cord in there, so should be getting close. So I think that's the culprit, and if he can just tell me what pinout it is on the ECU, I can jump it and then verify everything else works. I mean, I have throttle control, the pedal and everything, all of that works. I put my timing light on it, I'm not getting any ignition, so, and I think that's why. But what I think the issue is that when I went to go send them the stock harness to recreate, I accidentally pulled the oil pressure sensor out of its clip, and I tagged it, hey, this is the oil pressure switch. I see that he marked it on his test harness, but in the test version that I got back to try out, I didn't get an oil pressure switch. And I'm not 100% sure, but I'm almost positive that these engines, if they don't see oil pressure, they will not allow ignition, therefore creating a failsafe for low oil pressure condition. But I'm not 100%. I'm gonna wait to hear back from Andrew at GemSport, and then we will get this fired up. We have fuel, we have all the wiring hooked up, all the correct sensors. So that's all we're waiting on. So there's your Festiva ST update. Oh, and I did do some other things. I replaced the strut for the hatch, lined up and marked out the dash, so that can go in, but I am waiting for the harness to be good to go, so that way I can tuck the ECU in here and all of the wiring and make it look beautiful. But yeah, oh, I also hooked back up the transmission, refilled the transmission fluid. I'll insert that footage. But yeah, this thing is almost ready to go. I had that one little issue, and I don't think it's going to be a big issue at all. And then this thing will be fired up. So here's where we're at with the Festiva. I tried to start it and was unsuccessful. After some diagnosis, I came to the conclusion that we're not getting any RPM signal. By the way, this is a kind of beta test harness for GemSport for the 1.6 Ecoboost. So we knew that there could possibly be some kinks that needed to be worked out, and that's what this is. This isn't, I didn't buy a plug and play harness from them. They actually custom made this harness. So with that being said, that's why we're having to work out kinks with it. Just wanted to throw in that disclaimer. So what I have here is the power wire to the starter and alternator that is factory, and then I have a start trigger wire and fuel pump, and then a key on wire for the ECU, which does work because you can hear the throttle body, and then of course you get throttle control. So what we're going to look for is a crank signal through the crankshaft sensor. Once we verify that we have crank signal, we're also going to start going through the cam sensors, and then I'm going to verify that they're pinned in the correct place on the harness. So stick around for that. So here's the crankshaft sensor, and basically what I'm going to do is key on and just test for 5 volts and then test for ground. So key on, 5 volts should be coming off of, let me see, should be on the orange wire. So let's check. I do have 5 volts. Oh, I have 5 volts on the gray wire as well, which I don't think I should be having. And I do have ground on the dark gray. Let's verify that that's what it is. And he says brown here, but oh, okay, I guess that is a brown. Brown, 0 volt. Yeah, so that should be, yeah. Okay. Alright. So, now let's go back. I shouldn't have 12 volts on that center light gray wire. It should be a crank signal that passes through. So let's check and see. It should be, crank signal should be going to pin 11 on the ECU. I'm going to pull key off here. Now I know where 9 is, and I know where 10 is, because this here's the oil light that I added to the harness on pin 9, and this is pin 11 just above it. It's 1, 2, it starts on this end for pin 1 and then works its way up. So there's 9, oil, 10, 11, 4. So I'm going to key back on and then test this guy and see if I'm getting same voltage here. And I can't work my way through that connector, so I'm going to probe the wire. Try not to stab myself. And I am getting 5 volts here. So, I definitely don't think I should be. Now, I'm going to try something. Going to see if I get the same signal while cranking. We're going to be on this side, and 11. Key on. Then probe this wire. It's going to be kind of hard to do, probe this wire plus C. The only reason I'm probing it is because my probe is too big to fit down into the connector, so that's why I'm probing the wire. And let's try and crank. Slipped. Set this up here. Slipped off as soon as I went to go crank. Alright. So I am, just to verify, getting a static signal out of it without it moving, or without trying to crank. Fluctuating voltage. Then under crank, so I think that's doing what it's supposed to. It's just weird that it's at 5 volts. With it plugged in, it's not at 5 volts. It's at 0.9 when you unplug the connector, though. Alright, so I think that one's good, so we're going to move on to the camshaft sensors. And I guess these are the same, yeah. 5 volt orange, 5 volt, 5 volt, ground. Just out of curiosity, I want to see what this is doing. So this is a this is the fuel pump. And let's see what it does when I try to crank. Nothing, it's still fluctuating. Oh, that's weird. I wonder. The black wire in here has nothing. Oh, there it goes. Intake side, the brown one, pin E, 3. So 5 volts on one. Oh, that might be backwards. think that's what it is. I think I found it. Hopefully they're not like that on all of them. Orange on pin 1. Let's check. Okay. It's not. Alright, so I'm back. I'm on the, you'll see I changed shirts, and you'll see me in a lot of these shirts, and the reason for that is because I have like 15 of them. I went to a long sleeve because the mosquitoes are out and they're chewing me up. That one's good, so I'm going to assume the rest are good. Crankshaft one is good. Cam sensors do not seem to be. Here's easily 8. Okay, that's what it is. Alright. So, if I can get all these mosquitoes out of the way, that is the problem. They're backwards on the connector. I'm getting chewed up out here. So let me get this fixed, and then I will come back and we'll see what happens. We're going to try this again, because I didn't think I had a good connection on some of them. Just out of curiosity, let's see. Alright, I'm calling it for the night. I've fixed some terminals that were backwards and confirmed the signal wires are making it back to the ECU, but I'm still not getting crank signal from the crank sensor despite them being hooked up correctly. So I'm working with GemSport to figure out a way forwards. I don't know if them being hooked up backwards originally messed up the sensor. I wouldn't assume so. To hear back from GemSport, and we'll have a way forwards. But until then, there she sits.